Good. Can I just get the team news? Enzo, Dewsbury Hall, Reece James updates, please.
Enzo is back, Keenan is back, and Reece is still out.
Reece still out. Has there been a delay? And if so, it's a tough one, isn't it? How will the club manage this with Reece?
Waiting that he's fit. Waiting that he's fit. His injury, it's a bit delay, but the most important thing for him, but for any injury, is that they are back, or they come back when they are 100% fit, and Reece is still out.
Nice rare week off training, but no match for you, which is maybe good ahead of a very busy season. Jadon Sancho, in previous clubs there have been times where people have questioned maybe his work ethic, but we hear you're so pleased with what you've seen of Jadon so far in your training sessions.
Yeah, absolutely. I said the last week, since he arrived here, he's working hard, he's working good on the ball and off the ball, and we use also the international break to focus a little bit more on him. So yeah, he's doing well.
This week, a number of players ahead of their Champions League matches are unhappy with the new European format, the matches, too many matches. One player even suggested that potentially going on strike in future. You have a big season ahead. Obviously, Cole Palmer not in your Conference League squads. Do you have a duty? Do you feel you have a duty of care to look after your players? Because of course that was, we've got so many games coming up, haven't you?
Yeah, I said the reason why Cole, Wes and Romeo, they are out of the squad in conference is just to protect them a little bit. For Wes and Romeo it's a bit different because they came from long injury from last year. For Cole it's a mix in terms of, also has been a very tough season for him in terms of intense season last year, and we try just to protect him, and as I said already the last time, the reason why it's just for that.
But I'm sure you're so glad the transfer window's now closed. But there was also talk about a striker. But it looks like a good battle between Christopher Nkunku and Nicholas Jackson for that striker spot. We saw that at Bournemouth last week. Does that excite you with the next few weeks ahead between the two?
We use Christo as a 9 in the last game for the last 10 minutes. He's completely different to Nicolas in terms of quality skills. They are completely different. Nico is a number 9. Christo is not a real number 9. It's more, we can use him as a 9, but in a different way. But I said I'm completely happy with the squad we have, not only with the Christo and Nicolas, with the amount of players that we have, especially because they are versatile. We can use Christo as a 9, Christo in the pocket. He didn't like to play wide. He preferred to be inside, more in the central pitch. We know that, but sometimes also in terms of balance or in terms to find a balance for all of them. Sometimes they have to play also in position that they is not the best one for them. Like Christo played against City the first game of the season in wide area as a winger. But the important thing is that they adapt and they try to give their best.
Thank you, Enzo.
Yeah, Mish?
Hi, how are you? If I can take you just back to the idea of how many matches the players play, do you think they're playing too many games?
Yes, no doubt. Yeah.
So what solution would you come up with? Because players are paid enormous amounts of money to play football matches and entertain everybody, and yet we're being told the more they play, the less likely they are to be able to perform properly and entertain. So where is the happy balance?
No, I think it's, in terms of games, it's too much. I don't think we protect players, but the only ones that they can do something are the players, because we can say what we think, that for me it's completely wrong with the amount of games that we have, but the only one that they can do something are the players, and we can help them. I think in the last 2 weeks, some of the players, they try to explain or to say what they think, and I think it's a good starting point.
What, going on strike?
Some of them they said that could be an idea for them.
And if I was one of your players and I said, listen, I'm playing too many games, can you leave me out of the League Cup or the FA Cup? How would you view that?
This is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Not here, not them, because at the end, since they were very young, they train and they work and the dream was to be football player, they are not going to say, no, I don't want to play. This is not going to happen never. Can happen something different, but all the players there at the end, they want to play the games.
Everybody wants to play tomorrow, London derby against West Ham. Another big game for Chelsea. And a quiet week. I mean, no headlines, no controversies. I mean, this must be great for you.
Has been great also the previous one, to be honest. I told you already many times that I try to live every day or every week in the same way, that just focus on the things that I can control. This week for me was not different from the previous one, was exactly the same because my focus was just to training session and the games.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Just going back to the potential of players going on strike, would you back them to do that if it came to that?
The only thing I can say that for me there are too many games. This is the only thing I can say.
On Reece James, do you have an idea when he's going to come back? And is there a concern? I mean, because his injury record is terrible.
Yeah, unfortunately we don't have an idea at the moment. And in terms of injury in the past, we always hope that we can find the right solution. In this case, has been very unlucky because we planned to change him after 65 minutes, and he was get injury after 62, 63. So it was also a bit unlucky. But hopefully we can have him back soon as possible and fit.
Is Gusto fit? Did you say that?
Say-
Gusto, is he fit for tomorrow?
Malo, no, he's not fit. He's still out.
With the squad you've now assembled, are you confident? Is this squad good enough, do you think, to challenge and get in the top 4 this season?
I said already, no one, since I met the first time the owners and the sport director, they never mentioned me to finish top 4, and the target was top 4.
But do you think the squad's good enough to finish top 4?
I think this is a good squad, but I also said that if the last 2 years we finish 12 and we finish 6, to improve is not something automatic. You need progress. You need progress. Yeah, you need progress. So I think the squad is good, but the only way to reach some important target like top 4, just to try to be focused on game after game. Otherwise, if you think about April, May, is too far.
Okay, we'll go to PLP.
Yeah.
So we've seen such an impact in a short appearance. You've got a few options on the left. We've seen Neto playing very impressive on the right at Wolves. Is that an option for you to put him alongside Money?
Now, I will. Hopefully, I can clarify. So, as a left winger, we have Jadon and Misha. As a right winger, we have Noni and Pedro. As attacking midfielder, we have Joao and Cole. As a number 9, we have Nicolas and Cristo. There are not so many players. We have 2 players each position. Now, Cristo can play as a 9, can play attacking midfielder, and can play winger. Yes. I don't know. Keenan Disburiol can play pocket and can play wide. Yes. So we have. And then Pedro was playing like left winger because Jadon was not here, was not fit, and Misha, between him and Jadon and Pedro, I prefer Pedro for that game. Doesn't mean that I will prefer always Pedro. But in terms of position, we have Misha and Jadon, Pedro and Noni in the right side. Then we have Cole, Joao, Cristo and Nico in front. So the squad is quite clear in terms of position. All of them, they have position, and we have 2 players in each position. Now, because they are versatile and they are good and they can play in different positions, for sure we can move them. Like I said, Cristo played the first game against City as a winger. So.
Well, Cobham is one of the best academies in the world. We've got Josh Achiampong, who's a right back, incredible right back. You've had some issues in the right back area. Is he actually ready to get minutes? Is he ready to be involved in the squad?
Josh, I really like Josh. For me, potentially, he can be top player, top defender for the future. Now, with young players, I have quite experience, and I like to be very to modify them a little bit, because today for the young players, they can change very quick. They can quick think that they are so good or so bad, So I think you need to be, you need to moderate a little bit the way they join us.
Last one, please, Sarah.
We've seen Mudryk progress over his time at Chelsea, the more minutes he gets. But how do you as a manager continue to develop the young players you have in a period where they get less minutes or they're not playing as much?
Training session. Training session is the only way to improve players. And we try to improve all of them every day, with some of them doing some extra session at the end. Misha is one of them. But as I said before, in this moment he's not playing, that means that he's not going to play in the future. Absolutely.
Okay. Got time for two more. We'll go Rob and then finish with Simon.
Hi, Enzo. What do you make of what Nicholas Jackson's done this season? Because he was probably used a lot more last season than was planned when he was brought in because of all the injuries. But you've got more options than your predecessor had.
Sorry, I forgot to mention Mark Guyu before as a 9. We have Nicolas, Mark, and Cristo. Yeah.
Well, I mean, so you've got options then, in a way that maybe the team didn't have last season. But Jackson is still kind of your kind of first choice, it seems, even though you've got Nkunku back in the game. What do you make of what you've seen Jackson this season?
Because he's doing very good day by day in the training session, and then in the Premier League game, I think City was very good. Second game, Wolves away, he scored and he gave also some assist. And again, Palace until the end he was fighting. Bournemouth again, he did well. He had 2-3 chances, he missed. But sometimes when you miss chance, doesn't mean that you are not playing well. So for me, in this moment, Nicolas is our striker. I don't have any doubt, because the way he's working day by day and the way he's working on the ball and off the ball during the games, the official game.
When he and Nkunku came in at more or less the same time, I think it seemed like Nkunku was the established player that was coming in, and Jackson was kind of the young kid who had lots to learn. Sort of almost feels like their status in the squad has been reversed this season. Is that kind of how you see it?
No, the only thing I can say is that Cristo last year was injured, so the reason why probably Nicolas was ahead of Cristo also for this reason. Then this season, since we start, in the way we play, we start to use Nicolas, but as I said, that means that we are not going to use Mark or Cristo as a 9, depends on the games. In this moment, Nicolas, we are very happy with him and he's doing very well. And also I think in terms of numbers, last year and this season, it's already on important numbers.
Okay, we'll finish with Simon.
Enzo, last season, Chelsea broke the Premier League record for most bookings. You're now top of the table for most bookings.
Fantastic.
Is there a discipline problem here, and what can you do to try and tell the players to...
No, I don't think it's discipline problem at all. No, I don't think so. I think Bournemouth game is kind of game where because of the pitch, because of the game, sometimes you require to make some foul. So I think it's not about that. Also the day after I watched Arsenal Tottenham, I think first half was 7-8 yellow card. So more or less the average was there. But I don't think absolutely that there is any kind of a discipline that is not good.
So you've not had to speak to the players and sort of say try and...
No, absolutely. Also because, as I said, especially after international break, especially in that kind of stadium, then the last 70 hours, last week, we changed the team 3 times because Enzo was ill, then Keenan Disburiol was ill, then we changed again. So in the last 72 hours was quite busy before that game, and I think it was a normal game, and also probably some of the yellow card was avoidable from the referee, but they decided that way. We are set.
Okay, cameras off, please.